What's up, dudes? Welcome back to the mothership. It is a beautiful, freezing cold day in New England. It's still October. We haven't even hit Halloween yet, and temperatures decided to just plummet in the last week or so, ever since my last video even. So I'm out here doing some trial and error. As you can see, I have changed from my usual gloves, my nice Aero Stitch elk skin gloves, to something bulky and awful. These are something I already owned before. I didn't buy them for this video or for motorcycles. These are my Milwaukee brand, so the tool company brand, heated gloves. I use them for snow blowing, and I use them for hunting. When I'm sitting up in the tree stand, I sit with my hands nice and toasty before I pull out the gloves for the bow. So I had these lying around, and I kind of wanted to see if I could get a little bit of mileage on them. My biggest concerns really were if they're going to be too bulky, so like I couldn't really do anything grip stuff, and if they were going to have enough tactile to really feel the clutch and, you know, the brakes and the throttle and all that. And I have to say, they're pretty good. It's not too bad. I think I could make this work. Hey, you know, they aren't winning any beauty awards, but it's not too bad. You know, and kind of makes me think about really what are my options. So I know a couple of people have actually already winterized their bikes for the year up here, just because it's been so miserable this last week, and it looks like hell, we might even get snow in the next couple days, and then it's just going to keep getting colder and colder. I'm not really ready to give up the amazingness of being able to ride like this. This is just the best. So I've kind of been looking at what are some options. My worst spot on my body for cold are my fingers. Always is my fingers. So the first line of defense always has to be hands. So my options were really keep my gloves, throw some hand warmers in them, and pray that I'm fine. Buy some winter gloves, which I know is just pointless because it'll be the same problem as regular gloves. Use external battery powered gloves. So this was my first choice because I already own them. But there's a couple of companies that make more motorcycle specific ones with some armor and some more abrasion resistance, you know, that has stuff that you buy a motorcycle glove for. And then there's also a type of product that's very popular on snowmobilers, and those are not battery powered, excuse me. Those are electronically powered heated gear that attach through a set of cables directly to your engine's motor. So that is kind of intriguing, and it kind of begs a couple of questions for me. The first of which is, what's it really like being tethered to your bike like that? I mean, it might not be anything, but it might be really weird and uncomfortable, and something I would need to think about. Price, I haven't really looked into specific products, so I couldn't tell you if it's more expensive than buying external, or really what kind of financial impact it's going to be. But the number one thing that pops into my head, and I might be going way off base here, and it might not be a problem in the slightest, is, you know, when you start adding drain to your bike, to your battery, you have to be able to regenerate at least as much drain as you're pulling off, or you're eventually going to have a dead battery. Now, I don't know about bike batteries as far as, you know, if they're all standardized, they're all a certain type of, a certain draw can be taken off of them. But you gotta imagine that they built this bike to run off the battery with only a little bit of extra wiggle room as far as how much more pull it can do, right? Otherwise, you're just adding unnecessary weight and just nonsense. So, could I put a full suit onto this little Sportster and not have battery problems? I don't know. I mean, that's a hypothetical or a rhetorical question because I really don't know the answer. Like I said, I know snowmobiles do, but they might be built for that. They might be setting them up to be able to pull that extra drain off of them. So that is definitely something we're thinking about. If you're getting into the position I am, where you're trying to extend your season, it's worth thinking about that type of product. And I know that would keep you nice and toasty. But is it eventually not going to work, and you'll be left with a dead battery stranded somewhere? So, you know, that's my real thoughts. I wanted to leave them out there. If you guys have any ideas, you know, let me know. If you guys use that kind of thing, that kind of setup, definitely let me know. You know, the The other thing, you know, I kind of want to touch upon here is living in New England. I have some skills that people throughout the country probably don't have to think about as much, and that would be in, you know, the department of layering. So it's pretty common, especially in the hunting world and up here in New England. If you spend any time outside, you know, the days could be warm, the evenings and the mornings could be a lot colder, and then the night could be freezing. So wearing different layers of clothing is always a great strategy for combating, you know, sweating and hypothermia and getting cold when you're out trying to enjoy the day. And basically, when it comes to you know, if you're trying to do a couple hours on your bike in the winter, just like during the summer, you're gonna want some water protection, obviously. So some sort of rain jacket or even a trash bag in your bag is useful. But then, you know, you can get away with some long underwear, or like even some like Under Armour type stuff for running. Then throw a fleece over it, and then throw your normal mesh jacket over there. As long as it's got some wind protection, you could get away with that. But you know, I wanted to throw that out into the ether, especially if you guys are, you know, not used to that kind of stuff. If you want me to put a full together video, drop a comment below. I can definitely share a lot on some of the things I do for layering, especially for the hunting world. And you know, I have done some ice fishing in my life, and kind of what I'm experimenting here on the bike. I can definitely share some of that with you guys. But yeah, you know, I'd love to hear more from you guys. How do you guys get away with riding your bike in the cold? People down south, you're welcome to send a comment that says I don't live in the north, so I don't know and I don't care. That's fair. I'm jealous of you because it gets cold here. Hey, here's an addendum to this video, guys. I've been out here for about an hour, just going through some back roads and stuff, and the temperatures definitely dropped, and I am definitely getting pretty chilly. The fingers are working out pretty well. They're definitely a little cold, which I'm surprised. I even have them up to the highest setting right now. They're definitely a little cold, so maybe this isn't the answer I thought I might have. But my knees are actually a little chilly right now. Usually it's not the case. I usually don't get too cold in my legs, but right now my knees are kind of chilly. So maybe I will have to look into some heated, or not heated, but at least like some fleece or more wind protected pants. So yeah, that's kind of an addendum there to throw out for you guys after I know this video is over. But yeah, gonna need a little bit of work here. But you know, trial and error. We live and we learn. Anyway, guys, if you got anything out of this, if you like this kind of content where I just kind of step out and, you know, share my thoughts and learn a little bit, definitely hit the sub button, you know, and you'll be the first people to see it as it comes out. I'd love to hear your thoughts too, so drop a comment below, a like if you enjoyed this video, and you know, we'll be in touch. Ride safe, dudes.